Hello everyone, and this is June and Funny back with our second video. I hope you all have found our previous video useful, where we have dealt with two questions. A question that is often asked by an aspiring teacher as how to grasp the attention of the learners when you enter the classroom and how to boost confidence in your students. So Funny has more questions, I believe. So we are going to look into these questions as how to make your lesson more interesting and how to have an effective lesson outcome. So off to Funny. Yes, Funny.
Hello, June. I am back with a few more questions.
Hello.
Okay,
Yes.
my first question for the day. Every time when
Yes.
I enter the class, I find at least 20% of the classroom, about some 5 to 10 learners, are always reluctant to answer my questions or to participate in the activities. In other words, they are introvert. How to deal with introvert kind of learners and make them actively participate in my lessons?
Right. Yes. We all know that everybody in the class, they will not have the same kind of a response, and there will be learners who are typically very shy. It's not that they don't know the answer, but they're just shy. Now, when you discover that you have students who are shy in nature, what you do is, I have seen that teachers either will not ask those students much, right? Because they know they are not going to answer. And this, even if the teachers make an attempt that, yes, please answer, don't worry, you can. I mean, sometimes they do give an effort, but when they see that it's not working out, I've seen the teachers usually tend to leave them, and not attend them anymore. And they would be focusing on the students who are far more active, and they're, giving the answers. Now, in a situation like this, what I have been doing and what I usually do is that when I know this particular learner is shy and there are few more like him or her, yes, in the first instance, I definitely make an effort to make the student comfortable, all right? However, what I do is I don't really probe much. I don't keep on digging. I don't go on asking, and I don't try too much, because you have to keep in mind that there are other learners in the classroom, and if you are focusing on one particular learner, all right, then you will lose out on the rest of the class, and secondly, you will have to still go on with the lesson. So what you do is you definitely acknowledge, right? You acknowledge and you say, okay, not a problem if you're not feeling comfortable, or maybe you're unsure of the answer. Okay, let's listen from some of your friends in the class. And then you ask some of the other students who they are prompt. Then you come back to that student. Don't forget, that's where the common error it's an error which is done by the teachers more often, that they don't get back to that learner. So you have to get back to the learner and ask that, okay, did you hear that? Is it making sense? Have you understood now? Do you have any questions? Is there something you want me to explain it to you? Now, if the student says, no, it's fine. Okay, believe. Maybe later towards the day, you again ask the student the question that, would you like to try now? And the student says, no, not a problem. Let it be. I said, okay, fine. Take your time. Okay. Maybe you can try tomorrow or some other day. You must keep in mind that you have to attend that learner till the time you see that learner is not participating, because that is now your goal, right? So what you do is, the next day, you definitely look for an opportunity and then you ask the question. If you see the learner is still not ready, you say, okay, not an issue. You want some more time? That's fine. And you give some more time, and the process is the same, right? Usually I have seen that they do respond to you and they want to make an attempt. However, if this is prolonged, like there is no improvement or no initiation or no attempt for the child to really come across, or even learner, I mean, it can be with an adult also. So there is no such improvement seen. What you do is, after the class, definitely sit with the student and say that, is there anything that I can help you with? Are you finding it difficult to follow in the class? Is there is something which is stopping you? Is there something that you would like to share with me and that I can help you with? I can even be a part, of you and help you to present in the classroom, and see what the reason is. Okay, so if it is far, it's, as I said, if it continues, you might have to give an extra attention after the classroom, but usually I have seen it works. And when you are constantly, you're coming back to that student and asking that whether he or she is able to follow or not, if he or she is okay to answer, do you want some more help, and that you're willing to help, that then what you're doing is you are actually passing two message to the student, and that is, one, you are being noticed, and that sooner or later you will have to participate. Okay, everybody has to participate, so that you are not an exception, that you cannot just sit back not participating. Second is, I am there with you, and I am there with you. I am there to help you, and I will do whatever makes you feel comfortable, and I'll ensure that you are okay with it. All right, so the moment that one student, you are successful in making that student respond, the other students, the few who were shy, follow. I have seen that happening. They also follow, because when they get inspired from the other student. But if it is not happening with all, as I said, one-on-one discussion is recommended, and it is a must. You have to investigate further. Okay, that's it.
Well, that's a very valuable tactic. I'll definitely try it out. Okay, my
Okay,
next
you must.
question.
Yeah.
Yes. How do I make my lesson more inclusive and interesting by including all the four language skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing in the same lesson, regardless of what the topic is?
Interesting. Okay, now interesting, see, what might be interesting for you may not be interesting for your learners, right? So interest, we need to think from the student's perspective, and what will make the students interested. Students are interested when you give them a task which is challenging in nature, number one, where they will have to think, where they have the freedom of expression. Keep that in mind. Okay. Number two, they will find it interesting if you have a provision where they are expected to do search. Now, when I say some search, that means some free reading. They can use technology. They can go up to the Google. They can, find some information. They can read up a book. They can go to a library. Whatever way, whichever way. They can even interview a friend. They can interview any community members. It depends on the nature of your activity and the nature of your lesson. All right. And the third is when you come up with rewards. Okay, when you give them that incentive, that there will be score, a reward system, as in it can be anything in nature. Not necessarily you give them chocolates, but you might tell them that somebody who can come up with interesting answer, or someone will come up with more, let's say, the best answer, something like that. Okay, then that person will be voted the student of the day, or something like that. All right, or that person will be the monitor for the next 24 hours, the next day, that way. But the nature of your activity should be such that it must encompass the skills, as in there should be a little bit of listening, speaking, reading, writing, because now in the 21st classroom teaching is all these four skills are included in a lesson, including also where they can work in groups. They are able to work in pairs, because that gives birth to group camaraderie. That helps in peer bonding, that helps in knowing and exchange of ideas. And the next is very important. Get into the habit of using music in the classroom. Very important. Usages of music, usages of role play, bring real objects into the classroom, give enough scope for research, which will include, as I said, it can be anything. It can start from using technology, from reading, or even interviewing people. All right. And number four, give them the freedom that how they want to express their research, express their finding or their creation. So have enough option. Give them choices, by the way, choice. Because if I don't have the choice, then why should I be interested? I'm not interested in writing, but does my teacher give me a choice to speak? I'm comfortable in speaking. So teacher, can I speak on this? Okay, can I exempt myself from writing? And I'm not saying that to exempt the student every time, but sometime this negotiation helps. So you know that, okay, this time you may just speak in front of the class. That's all right, as long as the student is able to express. But next time, try to express through writing also. So, and they have no issues on that. They say, okay, so my choice is being respected. So definitely the next time I shall have to also respect my teacher's viewpoint. And so this mutual respect really helps a lot. So these are the primary ingredients how you can keep your lesson interesting, irrespective of any topic. Most importantly, please remember to keep in mind the age group of your learners and the level of their learning, as in what level they are at the moment. Because if you are teaching pre-intermediate students, please don't present them the task which can be attempted by the intermediate or higher intermediate students. Obviously, I mean, that will just put them off, that will shut them off completely. Although you have to keep in mind that you need to challenge them to rise up the higher order thinking, Funny, but it is always good to start from the level where they are at the current moment. And you only challenge them to go up high through this creative way of responding or performing. So your production should be creative in nature, where they will have choices, where they have the freedom of expression, they can have fun with music. That is how you can actually push them towards higher order thinking. At the same time, they remain interested in the lesson, and yes, don't become too predictable.
So music, role plays, and a bit of negotiation will help me in this regard.
Simulations also, okay. Interviewing other students, buddy them. Also research work, please give them a lot of research work. They need to do the research on their own. They need to come and share what they have researched. Give them enough scope to reflect on how they have felt the process or how they have found the lesson. That only keeps the variety, see, always variety is the main spice of life. The variety is very important.
Okay. Definitely, I'll incorporate all these in my classroom. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I guess that will be all for today. All right. So thank you, viewers, for joining us, and I hope you found these suggestions useful and would be implementing. And if you do, please let us know, and don't forget to like and share, as well as subscribe. And thank you, Funny. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to, come up with all those suggestions that I have been, practicing, and I'm suggesting others. So watch out. We will be back with our next video soon, and Funny will have more questions.
Yeah, thank you so much.